I thought I was losing my mind. It turns out I wasn't. It was menopause. Hi, my name is Amy Schmidt, and I'm here not as a doctor, not as a specialist or nutritionalist, but just as somebody like you who is going through menopause and sharing my journey with other women to help share information that I learn and to form a community of women that are like-minded to go on this journey together. So, about 3.5 years ago, I started to have a bunch of symptoms that I chalked up to other things. And they were not the typical menopause symptoms. Usually when you hear menopause, everyone's like hot flashes. Menopause is not just hot flashes. There's like 100 other symptoms, and I think I've had 99 of them. But these are 5 ones that go misdiagnosed all the time. So there are 5 symptoms that lots of women have, and when they go to their doctor, their general practitioner about these, they're given medications for that one symptom. No one is looking over all of these and thinking that it has anything to do with menopause. The symptoms are anxiety, depression, heart palpitations, panic attacks, and vertigo. And I had all of those, and they were brutal. And I started thinking something was really wrong with me. So again, 3.5 years ago, all of a sudden I'm having all of these symptoms. I'm not an anxious person. I've never had anxiety, but just this constant feeling of anxiety, of dread, of worry. Depression, just the feeling of the blahs, like not wanting to do anything at all, like sitting at my desk, not moving. Heart palpitations, my heart would be racing. I chalked that up to eating too much ice cream that had salt in it. You know, because there's salt in ice cream, there's salt in everything, but I was having ice cream, and on the weekends I'd have some wine, and I was like, oh, I'm just eating poorly, that's why my heart is racing. The depression and anxiety I thought was because I was a new empty nester. Both my kids had left for college, and I thought, I'm just going through something. But the panic attacks and the vertigo were weird. Like, panic attacks would happen when I was driving. I felt like almost the car would spin a little bit, which was so weird, and then I'd be fine, but then I'd be anxious that it was happening, and then I'd have some panic with that. A couple of times I had to pull over. And then vertigo, which is mainly when I would walk into stores and I was blaming it on lights and pressure changes from being outside to inside, like just all kinds of crazy excuses I was making for myself. It turns out it was all caused by menopause. I'd started going into perimenopause, and these were symptoms that were flaring up. So why did these symptoms get misdiagnosed by doctors? My doctor told me that she was not trained to help women with menopause. Like, she flat out said that to me. And she was doing it as a help, not because she didn't want to help me, but she was telling me that she didn't know how to help me. And she admitted that doctors only get like 1 hour of training for menopausal women. So if you're in menopause and you have a GP who has 0 interest and 0 training, they're not going to be able to help you. So she told me that I had to go get a doctor that could help me, and she made some recommendations, and I luckily found a doctor. But for a lot of women, the doctors will hear that you're anxious and prescribe to you anti-anxiety medicine, or that you're depressed and put you on antidepressants, or heart palpitations and will put you on heart medicine. And then you're on 3 different medicines for something that really is just menopause related. And the way that I took care of that and worked with my doctor was to go on hormone replacement therapy, HRT, which is a combination of estrogen and progesterone. Your body needs estrogen, and it goes a little bit nuts when it doesn't have it, because you're supposed to have estrogen in your system. And years ago, women died much sooner, so it wasn't a big deal. It was like they had kids, they got old quickly, and they passed. But now with our generation, we're living to be older and older and older, and we're finding out how beneficial estrogen is to have in our bodies. So I did a lot of research about estrogen and what it does. And again, I went on estrogen replacement therapy. So I'm on estrogen. I started with a lower dose. I've been working up through it. I'll do another video on that. But that one thing alone, within 3 to 4 weeks, I felt like a different person. All of those symptoms disappeared. All of them. It was unbelievable. I said to my husband, I feel like I've been plugged back in again. And it was insane that so many women do not know how important estrogen is in their health, in their mental health, and how much it helps with so many different functions of the body. So I'll be doing future videos about estrogen and about what I've learned and from people that I've followed on social media, where I did a lot of my learning, because again, the doctors are just getting up to speed on this. So I'm here to share as much as I can about what I learned, about my symptoms, what I've done to help myself. But those 5 symptoms often go misdiagnosed. And the way that I knew that it was menopause was because they came on all at once. Like I said, I never had any of those before, and they all came together. And I was like, something's wrong. It's not me, it's menopause. So feel free to leave me a comment if any of this resonates, if you've had any of these symptoms and your doctor's misdiagnosed you, or if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about that's menopause or midlife related. And if you've stuck around this long, please give me a like and subscribe so we can create a community of like-minded women who are helping each other through this journey.